Everett. Last week, our committee held our first meeting of the fall season and had a chance to study your piece entitled Typography, Not Fonts, which you so generously offered as a gift to the museum. I regret that I must inform you that after careful consideration, to whom it may concern, I have a name, damn it. To Josephine Everett. That's better. Your latest submission has been well received, with vast signs of improvement and layout and composition. I, for one, am a fan. Well, all right then. It is, however, with a heavy heart that I must inform you that, due to our severely limited gallery, we cannot offer you a space at this time. I highly recommend you resubmit your work for another busier season. Your drawing can be picked up at your earliest convenience. Damn it, damn it, damn it! Just a minute. Mom?
Who else would it be?
But what are you doing here? Ugh.
That's a very rude question to ask your mother, don't you think?
I'm sorry, forgive me if I'm a little confused.
Daughter, shouldn't your mother be able to freely visit you anytime that she wants?
That's not the problem.
You know what's the problem? This is the problem. You only have one chair. Where am I going to sit? All of this, if you only have one chair, how are we supposed to have a conversation? A proper conversation.
Usually, when people visit, they announce it ahead of time. That way I could invite them to someplace with more chairs.
Well, in that case, you certainly have built a fine yet solitary abode for yourself.
Would you like to have a seat?
Oh, no. If there's only one chair, then I guess it should be for the one that it's meant to be for.
This is obviously some sort of test on my social etiquette, which you're judging me for. Must I insist that you have the seat?
Oh, dear. I cannot test you on anything you haven't had at all.
That's a yes, then.
Fine. If you insist, then. I don't like this chair.
If you're not going to sit, then I will.
Fine. Suit yourself.
You always do this.
Do what? What do I do?
Can you at least explain to me why you're here?
It's been a while. Isn't that a good enough reason for a parent to visit her daughter?
Parents don't just visit out of the blue, especially when their daughter hasn't spoken to them for years.
Oh, that should be your father.
He's here too?
Don't keep him waiting.
Coming.
Hello, Jojo. So good to see you. How are you?
Words cannot express how confused I am at this moment.
Excellent. And I see your mother's here as well. There's only one chair.
Not this again.
As you can see, your daughter's incapable of accommodating a guest.
Well, that should make things a little more difficult.
It's your bad parenting, I'm afraid.
Okay, what's going on? You guys, in a few moments, you guys have managed to drive me completely insane. Logistically speaking, neither of you should be here.
Oh, I think she's forgotten.
Has she invited us over? That seems the case.
Well, I did not invite you guys here.
Oh, rubbish. Of course you did. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for the letters.
What letters? I have no reason to write to either of you.
Dear, we're talking about these right here.
The art gallery letters? I just opened them. How can you possibly know about them?
Oh, we're not mind readers if that's what you're wondering. We can sure you guessed by now. You're a smart girl.
Oh, she knows. That moment she opened that door, she's been telling me, eyeing her eyes, and utterly tactless.
How am I being tactless? All I want to know is how I could be having a conversation with both my parents when both of them died 5 years ago.
It isn't obvious.
Should it be?
Jojo, rejection is a very difficult emotion to deal with. Now, many people have friends or loved ones that they can share this pain with, but you don't seem to have any of those. So, here we are.
You're saying I summon the ghosts of my dead parents as a coping mechanism.
Josephine, your father and I are atheists. Even if there was an afterlife, we couldn't have gotten into it.
Oh, but you're on the right track. Keep going.
if you're not ghosts, then that means neither of you are actually here, which means all of this is happening in my head.
Bingo! You might say we're a sort of a projection from your memories of us about 5 years ago.
Well, be that as it may, if neither of you are real, then that means I'm just talking to myself.
And I must say, you have an untasteful memory of how I acted towards you.
But yes.
Well, if you guys are just figments of my imagination, I think I'll be taking that chair now. Shall we proceed?
Shouldn't you conjure up some imaginary seats for your imaginary parents then?
Nope. This is my psychotic breakdown. I think I'll be the one sitting. Otherwise, I'm afraid I might just actually mistake you for my actual parents.
Well, that's fair enough. Now, as we agreed, since you arrived first, I'll let you begin.
How kind of you. Dear, I'll be frank. You should have seen this come a long time ago. If you'd listened to me, you could have been a doctor by now and not this starving artist nonsense.
Jesus, Mom, you are not here to convince me to go back to med school.
Oh, that ship of disappointment has sailed long ago.
What else is new?
Josephine, I'm here to talk you out of the life. I'm here not to talk to you about the life that you could have had if you listened to me. I'm here to talk to you about how to save your life now. So simply put, I'm here to help you give up.
Well, that's silly. There's no way I'm giving up my art.
Josephine, why wouldn't you give up your art? It's all here. Your career hasn't progressed any further. You don't take criticism seriously. You have no one to talk to about your failures, hence why you're talking to your dead parents right now. People say they can only handle failure for so long until they become
bonkers, crazy, completely insane.
I was going to say deeply unsettled.
Same thing.
You dedicated all your life to this artistry. But earlier you didn't give up. But now your subconscious is calling it quits.
So you're telling me that I'm so fucked up that I'm ignoring my brain's worries.
You're having a conversation with your dead parents. Fucked up as you say, doesn't seem to cover some.
But the fact that I'm having this conversation means that part of me doesn't want to give up. What if I just need a little more time? I could work harder, I could get better, I could still put my name out there.
That's possible. Why don't you check what's inside your pocket first?
Pocket could be... It's a job application.
For a sales position of all things. Don't you remember why you picked it up?
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot about it. I was on my way home. I saw this position for this new startup company called Blue Crew. There were a lot of different kinds of openings, but the only one I felt like I could do was sales. Everything else required a degree I didn't have.
Well, that's what you get for following your dreams. You know, Josephine, if only you haven't followed your dreams and you've listened to me.
It's not fair.
Life isn't fair.
No, this doesn't mean that I've given up. Just because I'm exploring my options doesn't mean I've given up as an artist. This just means that I'm being smart about my living situation. I could use this to pay my bills and work on my art in my free time.
You think you're the first person to ever say that? Ha! I thought I could be an artist too and take care of your father and you. But between my family and my position at a law firm, I hardly had any time to draw. I could only do sketches of birds and dogs and flowers. The sooner you find your focus in your career, the sooner you'll find real money. If you cannot become a real artist, then the least you can become is a productive member of society.
All right, I'm done listening to this. Let's bring Dad in. Let's hear what he has to say.
Suit yourself.
Oh dear, that wasn't very long at all. Didn't like what your mom had to say?
Not particularly.
Well, cheer up, Jojo. I have some good news for you. I don't think you should give up your art.
I like where this is going.
Bad news is, your art isn't a problem right now.
You've lost me a bit there.
Let me explain. Where are we right at this very moment?
My apartment, obviously.
Ah, but how many apartments have you seen that have 2 entrances and only 1 chair? You did notice that your mother and I came in through separate doors.
Well, I have other things. My bed's just over...
Over where exactly? You live in a studio apartment. There's no other room for your bed to be hiding in. Josephine, I hate to break it to you, but you haven't been in your apartment since you read these letters.
But I can see you and this room clear as day.
Oh, yes, but you did also see something about having a psychotic breakdown. But suppose you're right, suppose you really are in your apartment, sitting in your 1 chair, talking with your dead parents. Or, maybe, you're standing on the roof of your apartment building, looking over the edge, contemplating a dramatic death.
That's ridiculous. If I was on the roof, there would be people telling me not to jump, and others would call the police to get me down.
Oh, rubbish, it is people. Maybe there were people, but they couldn't reach you. You've lost all contact with people. Hell, this room could be full of people, and you'd still think you were in your apartment. Alone. Talking to yourself. Doesn't say much for your sanity.
If that's true, then all I have to do is just sit here and do nothing. And someone will rescue me, and when I'm lucid again, I can get on with my life.
No, Josephine, you see, that's the problem. You have this tendency, Josephine, to play it safe. And it's coming out in your art. Why do you think you're getting these rejection letters? It's not because your art is bad, it's because it's not bold. You need to have some of that boldness, that vibrancy in your life, and the only way you're going to do that is by feeling alive.
By killing myself? You're saying that the only way to make my art more dynamic is by offing myself?
Look, you're missing the big picture here. Remember, the thing about artists is that they don't care about their art so much as getting recognition for their art. See the difference?
Of course I can tell the difference. Technically, I'm the only one telling myself this.
Look, just play along.
Back in college, I had this one professor, and he always said that there were 2 types of artists. The kind who loved creating, and those who loved to have created.
And you're the latter.
Painful as it is to admit, yes, that is the case.
That's the point. See, we've reached this position in your career that you might call an artistic peak. Artists don't fail because they're not talented enough. No, they're too cocky for that. An artist fails because they can't live the artist's life anymore. It's hard, living day to day, not knowing when your next paycheck is going to come. And when that big break just doesn't show up, and doesn't show up, and doesn't show up, well, that's when you start to think about playing it safe.
Like applying for sales jobs.
Like applying for sales jobs. See, people go into business of art or art administration, and they say, oh, they're staying in the community. But once they've made that decision, their artistic spirit is broken. The 3 words that can kill an artist are playing it safe. And in your case, because you value having created rather than creating, well, let's just say that rather than sit around and wait until you can create something new and bold, we can make your existing works bolder.
By jumping off the roof.
By jumping off the roof.
In that way, the world will know how tragic my life was.
And that way the world will know how tragic my life was. And that way the world will see all of the hard work and appreciate all of the hardships. Eternal fame isn't for the living. Fame is being remembered long after you're gone.
And all I have to do is jump off the roof.
That'll show them.
That'll show them all.
All I have to do is jump off the roof.
The 3 words that can kill an artist are:
Playing it safe.
Life isn't fair.
fame is being remembered.
Long after you're gone.
Life isn't fair.
Make a name for yourself.
What's in a name?
Life isn't fair.
I have a name, goddammit.